Yes.
But like the comparison, like with me and some of the other guys.
So that'd be something neat to see, the Harris Centers
The Pirates playing in Williams.
Welcome to the Knowledge Sports Podcast, episode 46, the home of sports talk for everyone. I'm David.
I'm Jason.
Welcome aboard. So I know past 2 days the Phillies have just been tanking. I know it's
don't get me started.
Wouldn't be hard to get you started on that.
Cheap plug. You can find me every month on the Philly Baseball Together podcast with my co-host Tori.
Yelling, screaming, and cursing about the Phils.
No cursing, because it's on the Baseball Together network, and those guys like to keep a family-friendly show.
So basically, it's beep galore.
No beeps. We actually, it's funny. The first episode last year, I even said to Tori, no cursing, and Tori just cursed, and I'm like, oh, the one guy who I didn't think would curse is the guy who ends up cursing on the show.
Yeah, no, I mean, to be honest, I have not been watching much of baseball, being hockey playoffs are in full swing, or no, that are still going on. So, I mean, I have been watching what I can. I know the Phils have been not playing good defense because they let in 16 runs Friday and Saturday.
It's not so much. It's the bullpen. It's
Isn't
a
it
lot
always
of
the bullpen?
things.
Isn't it always the bullpen, though?
I'm of the thought Girardi should be gone. That's just me.
Well, funny you say that. I did see something tonight that said he possibly could be let go.
But then if they let him go, who's taking over for the rest of the season? I mean, my personal thought, Boa works for the team. He was the manager. He was the manager that set the table for Charlie. And I think they need a manager who's going to kick them in the butt, who's going to yell at them, who's going to hold them accountable. I think Joe is too passive. I think he's more of a player's coach than he is. I think he's too easy on the guys and too lackadaisical. And I don't think that's what this team needs. I think they need a manager who's going to have locker room airing outs, who's going to hold these guys accountable, who's, it's time to put up or shut up. And says, oh, we can get the next one. Well, maybe there isn't going to be a next one.
There's always, hey, what about the next one? Hey, there's always next year. It's always
until you run out of next ones. And then.
Well, I always thought Joe was supposed to be the one to do that, to kick him in the rear and get the fires kicked.
Clearly we thought wrong. So
Apparently, I mean, who knows? Hey, they might have a turnaround soon. Who knows? It's only May.
That's the scary thing.
I know, a little optimistic there. Sad part is this isn't even the first period.
Right.
So, on to the first period. NFL potentially ending the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, that's surprising. As soon as I saw that, and it's funny, that as soon as I saw that, it was on Uniwatch, of course.
Right, your second home.
It basically is, yeah. So I think it's really interesting that they're thinking of getting rid of the Pro Bowl because we've always this dates back to us hanging out in your parents' basement. The Pro Bowl is pretty much a joke.
And lately it's been more of a joke because everybody, you don't even hit. Like, you don't even block. You don't even do any of that anymore. All the linemen just stand there.
Right.
Like, what's the point then?
So
if they mean it, if they make it to where it means something, like I know in baseball they did, the winner of
for a while they had the home field advantage.
Yeah. I mean, if they think of something that kind of kick it off to make it, hey guys, we're going to make it more beneficial for you guys to win by XYZ, who knows?
But here's the thing: we're talking about high-priced talent. We're talking about high-priced talent who don't want to play in the Pro Bowl. So what kind of incentive can you give them, especially when the Pro Bowl is played at the end of the season? It's the week before the Super Bowl. One of the few interesting things about it was that it was played in Hawaii. They stopped doing that. Football fans don't even care about the Pro Bowl, which ties into why they don't care about spring football too. But that's a whole nother story.
Well, there's a difference between the Pro Bowl and spring football because spring football is actually football.
Right. I have an opinion on NFL, on football fans, but it's really NFL fans. That's neither here nor there right now. The Pro Bowl is the joke all-star game. It means nothing. The fans of the sport don't care about it. The players don't care about it. Maybe it's time it goes away. It's not like, baseball fans enjoy and look forward to the all-star game and everything leading up to the all-star game with the home run derby. That's a whole big primetime special. The NHL has All-Star Weekend. They got their skills competitions, and they got the NHL All-Star Game. The NBA has All-Star Weekend as well. They got skills competitions, the three-point contest, the slam dunk contest. I think they have a futures game. And then they have the actual All-Star Game Sunday night. The NFL, really, it's nothing.
Useless.
Really. Basically, yeah. It's a holdover until the Super Bowl.
Pretty much. I mean, that's all it really is. I mean, I did see something. Chad Ochocino Johnson
please.
said about old school versus new school for the Pro Bowl.
In the flag football format.
So, I mean, that'd be interesting, but kind of useless as well. But I guess that's trying to make it fun because even he knows it's not anymore.
I mean, I don't hate the idea of just current guys playing a flag football format for the Pro Bowl. I just think at this point maybe it's just time the Pro Bowl goes away.
I mean, I would say do like a skills competition, like the quarterbacks, running backs, receivers.
Let's throw this out there because it was.
The linemen
when we were kids. Do you remember NFL Quarterback Club back in the 90s? It was a couple of games for the PlayStation, or not the PlayStation. It was for the Super Nintendo and the Genesis. Do you remember Quarterback Club?
Vaguely on that.
So it was just a game of quarterback skills, but you had NFL quarterbacks in the game. So let's do that. Maybe instead of having a Pro Bowl, you have a skills weekend.
I mean, I actually had this conversation already with somebody at work where you could do the accuracy with the quarterbacks, how fast a running back can run X amount of yards, how many patterns a receiver can run and actually catch the ball. And then I was thinking, what could the linemen do? Well, I was thinking, how fast can they push, like X amount of weight, how many yards? Because that's what linemen do. They try to push through the line, whether it be the offensive line or defensive line. They got to hold the line. So there are a lot of, that's to me that'd be a good competition of how far they can push a sled. I think they call it. Okay, that's for something.
Hold the phone on this one. Crazy idea.
No crazy idea.
Why don't you set it up in almost like a sumo format?
Lineman versus lineman.
You would have
offense
hypothetically,
defense.
You'd have the Chiefs' offensive line against, I don't know, the Rays' defensive line. And maybe instead of a circle, you make it a square. And the Buccaneers. I meant the Buccaneers, sorry. I'm thinking Tampa Bay, and it's baseball season, it's the Rays. But make it like a square or a rectangle, and whoever forces the others out or knock them down wins.
Hey, no.
At this point,
any idea is worth it with the Pro Bowl because, like we said, the game itself is useless. But if you make a competition weekend or a day of or even 2 days competition, like one day it's quarterbacks, running backs, second day it's receivers, linemen, or something like that, or however, make it a day. That'd be interesting to watch.
ESPN would just be foaming at the mouth to air that. So,
I mean, to me, that'd be kind of worth it rather than just a regular Pro Bowl game that, one, does nothing because you can't hit. Two, not that interesting to watch on TV to begin with because of that.
mm-hmm. I mean,
and three, it doesn't mean anything.
That's why I think the fact that they're even discussing eliminating it means they're aware that it means nothing and it holds no weight and people could care less about it. So that's something to think about. I do kind of like the idea of a skills weekend, but I think that's because I enjoy the skills weekends for the other leagues. They're fun to watch.
I agree. Just because you see the skills of what these players can do on the reason why they're selected to be an all-star, to be a Pro Bowler. There's a reason behind it. Like in hockey, hey, he's a fast skater, he's skilled, let's put him in an all-star game, see what he can do in whatever competition he puts him in, fastest skater, puck handling, whatever. Same thing with, let's say do a Pro Bowl skills, hey, he's a quarterback that's very accurate, he leads the league in home runs. And now you have me thinking baseball. In receiving in touchdowns. How many targets can he hit as they're moving? Okay, hey, this receiver caught this many. He leads the league in touchdowns. How many patterns can he run, and how many passes can he catch consecutively?
So here's some interesting information.
That'd be neat.
I just looked this up. So this year's NFL Pro Bowl hit a 16-year low in the ratings. It only averaged a little over 6.5 million viewers, and it was on both ABC, ESPN, and there was a Disney XD feed for kids. It was the lowest rating since 2006. So clearly, very few people watched this. The diehards of the diehards watched it. Now, the MLB All-Star Game last year had an 8.24 million viewers. The NBA All-Star Game had 5.94, and the All-Star Game on ABC for the NHL had a 1.15. So it's fairly middle of the road, and it's right there with the NBA. But I think as far as NFL ratings go, it's probably got to be one of the worst ratings they've had all season, outside of the Jets-Falcons London game.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. With football, when you have your diehard football fans, they want to see a good game. They want to see
everything. And I think those are the people that are watching the USFL right now. It's the true diehards who enjoy the sport, not just the NFL as a league. They enjoy the sport.
Well, tonight over at my parents' house, since Memorial Weekend, they had a picnic. We had a USFL game on there,
and there was no one in the stands.
There might have been a handful, but it was a good game. I mean, it was the Generals and the Bandits, and it came down to the final play. I mean, it was a good game.
Well, there are probably more people in a porn theater right now than there are at USFL games. So,
yeah,
that's my bad Pee Wee Herman impression. Sorry.
Oh, jeez. Here we go. He's all.
Hey, I've been up since 3:30, man. I told you how my day was when you were working on my laptop for me this morning.
Yeah. Well,
shocking. We live like 10, 15 minutes away from each other. So.
Hey, you need tech support.
It's been a long time since I needed you for tech support. So.
Hey, at least like I told you before, at least it was an easy fix.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, to me, to see the Pro Bowl go, it's not going to make me like, oh no, we got to keep it. Oh no, we can't get rid of it. No, it's going to be okay. Nothing's
Yeah, I
really
don't
going to
think there's
change
going
it.
to be a push to save the Pro Bowl.
I mean, if you see one, like you just said, high NFL executives making something like this, making the decisions for this, and you have, let's say, Chad Johnson, and also trying to think of ways to save it, it's almost out the door.
No offense to Ochocino, but Ochocino loves attention.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, this could just be another way of him getting back in the limelight. So let's not act like this is
Hey, who knows?
Self-service.
Who knows? Who knows? So, yeah, it going out, not going to hurt anything. I mean, the people who would probably miss it, like we said, would be the diehard people.
I don't even think they'll miss it that much. I think they just watch it because there's something on TV.
Probably. So, on that note, that'd be the end of the first. Hold on a second. Technical difficulties. Here we go. We'll be right back.
For listeners of the Not Another Sports Podcast, if you visit fansidea.com and use the code NASPOD, NASPOD at checkout, you will get 10% off your order. Fansidea.com is the place to go for custom-made jerseys, hoodies, shirts, and all kinds of other gear. The perfect product, perfectly stitched, perfect sublimation, and perfect embroidery, 100% handmade and delivered on time. That's certainty, and it's their promise to you. Again, use the code NASPOD at checkout for 10% off your order. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see I'm wearing my sublimated NASPOD jersey with my name complete on the back and numbered. David is wearing his very nice Flyers-inspired NASPOD jersey, a hockey jersey with beautiful stitching on the front and on the numbers with the TV numbers on the arms. The logo of our show is stitched on the back. They do that for you if you submit the custom artwork. So please visit fansidea.com and use NASPOD at checkout and get 10% off your custom jersey order.